Good morning, members and members of the public. Welcome to this hybrid meeting of the Special Civic Licensing Committee. I would remind, there's a word, all attendees that this meeting is being recorded and webcast live on the Council's YouTube channel. I would remind all remote attendees to mute their microphones when not speaking unless they wish to speak, and they should do so by raising their hands remotely. Can I also remind remote members attending hybrid meetings where quasi-judicial matters are being considered that they will not be permitted to participate by audio only and must have their video and camera functions switched on at all times. Item number 1, apologies for absence.
Yes, Convener, there's apologies from Councillor Meehan and Councillor Scott. Today we've got Councillors Braze, Durno, Gregg and Nicholl joining us remotely, and Councillors Fotheringham and Whiteside and yourself are in the chamber.
Thank you. Item 2, declarations of interest and statements of transparency. Does any member have any of these? I see none. Thank you very much. We'll move on to item 3, new short-term lets applications, and item A, 96 Bellevue Gardens, are both Mr. Graham Wallace.
Lost him.
No, he's still there. So, my understanding on this one is that the required information has now been presented to officers. However, that's only after the agenda for this meeting was issued. And as far as I know, Environmental Health are saying that this is in order. Can I ask Mr. Wallace if that is also his understanding?
Yes, that is my understanding. That was submitted just a few days ago.
Okay, thank you very much. Do we have ECP here now?
Morning, Councillor. Can you hear me?
Yes, thanks.
Yeah, apologies. I'm very late in being invited to the meeting. I can't confirm whether we have received information as yet, I'm afraid, on this one, Councillor. I'm just trying to look back to see if I have anything further I can give.
Thanks for that, Martin. My understanding from speaking to Stuart is that we do have the required information and it is in order, but I just wanted to double check, but that's fine. Given that that is the case, I would therefore propose that we drop this item from today's agenda and allow it to be determined under delegated authority. Can I have the authorisation of the committee to do so? Thank you very much. Mr. Wallace, you're free to leave the meeting.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. Bye.
Thank you. Item B, flat 1, Pitscanley House, Pitscanley, Forfar, DD83NZ. Welcome. We have Mrs. Anona Gao with us in person. Again, my understanding is that all the required information has now been presented to officers. Can I ask if that's your understanding as well?
Yes, that's correct.
I don't see why this needs to be determined by us today, given the relevant information is in place. Can I therefore ask committee's approval to do the same as item A and to drop it from today's agenda and have it granted under delegated authority? I see Councillor Durno, you've got your hand up.
Sorry, Convener, it was just on the last item. I just wanted to ask Mr. Petrie, I know that the gentleman's gone now, but there was a lane between the two houses, and I just wondered if that lane.
Sorry, Councillor Durno. Councillor Durno, we've gone through that item already, I'm afraid.
It's okay. It's okay. I'll ask him at a later date. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, can I then ask for the approval of committee to drop this item B from the agenda and for it to be determined under delegated authority? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Mrs. Gow. Item C, the Glen Apartment and Macduff Tower and Lauderdale Apartment, Kinnaird Castle, Brechin, and we have Mr. Jonathan Dymock in with us. Can I ask the applicant if he wants to speak to his application, please?
Yeah, I don't exactly know why we haven't been granted the license. We provided all of the information that was required for, to support to support the application. And then we were subsequently asked to provide 3 water supplies tests. We weren't, and these had to be, I suppose they were asked for in September. We weren't asked whether we had any records of previous annual testing, which we get done. I mean, the water supply that feeds the castle also feeds another 50 properties. It is actively managed. There's all manner of different measurements that are taken to ensure that the supply is chlorinated. And I find it astonishing that we're in this situation just now. But I to be honest, I'm unclear as to why we're in this licensing committee hearing.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Dymock. Are you finished your submission?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be submitting, but yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'll ask Environmental Health to come in at this point if they have any comment that they wish to make, particularly around the water supply.
Thank you, Councillor. Normally we ask for evidence of test report. If we have that, then yeah, we will be happy enough to support this application. Again, I don't have it in front of me, I'm afraid, Councillor, but if that can be supplied, yeah, I'm happy to look at that.
Right, thank you, Martin. I've got Stuart who wants to come in.
Thank you, Vice Convener. My understanding is from correspondence, I think received from, I think it was Claire Penman from South Esk, is that the inspections that have been requested for the water supply are not taking place until the 2nd of October. So regardless, I suppose, of the previous information that you may say has been made available, in terms of the STL licensing, we require updated versions for that in order for the licence to be granted. So that is what was being requested, and if I'm correct, it's the 2nd of October the inspections are happening.
Okay, thank you. Can I just ask the applicant if that's his understanding of events as well?
It is. The water tests are being carried out, but what we weren't asked for was whether we had any current water supply tests. The tests, we've got water supply tests. The council tests the supply annually. We test it annually, so we've got two water tests which are demonstrate the supply is potable. That are extant. I mean, they're within a year. We weren't asked for that. We were told we needed to get new water supply tests carried out, and that's what we've done. We've arranged that with the council.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Dymock. Yes, I think the key thing for the council is public safety, so that is what we are striving for. Can I ask members at this stage, do they have any questions on this application? I see no hands. Can I ask members if they have any comments, therefore? Sorry, Councillor Brays, is that a comment or a question?
Yes, it was a question, actually. I just wondered on this issue of water testing, are extra tests required because it's a short-term let application? Does a short-term let application have to have its own specific test?
I'd like to ask Martin from Environmental Health to come in at this point.
Thank you, Councillor. Not anything extra over and above whether if it was a normal tenanted property. It's the same testing for a tenanted property and a short-term let. But they wouldn't necessarily have to supply them if it was an owner-occupier.
It's fine, thanks.
Okay. Any commenters? No? Okay, so we'll move to the recommendations. And I would like to propose that, given the testing is not due until the 2nd of October, that we defer this item until the next meeting of the Civic Licensing Committee. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Fotheringham, thank you very much. Are there any amendments to that motion? I see none. Can I therefore ask that we agree to defer? Thank you very much. Mr. Dymock, you are free to leave the meeting. Thank you. Moving now to item D, Croft End Cottage and Claypots Cottage and Clover Cottage, Glen Isla. Okay, the applicant is not present. I understand that an inspection is being held today, and I would therefore propose, unless members have anything pressing that they wish to ask at this stage. I see no hands. I therefore propose that we defer this item to the next meeting after the inspection has taken place. Can I have a seconder, please? Thank you very much. Can I ask if there are any amendments to that motion? I see none. Are we therefore agreed to defer? Thank you very much. Item E, Bog Cottage, Wester, Lednathie, Glenprosen, and I believe Pamela Dougal is here. Thank you. Can I ask you to speak, please, to your application?
Sorry?
Can I ask you if you have anything you want to say on your application?
Yeah, I think it's just been a lack of communication, actually, because Alex Skelligan came last September to do the water tests, and then I emailed Brogan Smith from the council, who's been really helpful, asking for an update. And at that time, she said that we were needing specific water tests for Bog Cottage and the Bothy. But because Alex had checked all the filters and the lamps in each house that we have, but because we've got 4 houses from one source, one tank, I then went back and explained that we thought that that would suffice. But I didn't get a response from that. And then in August, I asked for an update, and she said that we were still needing specific water tests for each property. So Alex is coming out tomorrow.
Can I just ask Martin if he has anything he wants to add at this point?
Thank you, Councillor. No, nothing specific at this point. If Alex is out tomorrow, we'll have the results in a few days.
Okay, thank you. Can I ask members if they have any questions at this stage? I see none. Any comments? No. Okay, at this stage, I would like to propose that we defer this item to the next meeting following the testing, which we've just heard is taking place tomorrow. Do I have a seconder for that? Councillor Fotheringham. Are there any amendments to that motion?
Can I just clarify? We couldn't just delegate authority so that it's dealt with quicker, no?
No, because you would need to put in, that would only be the case if it was all satisfactory, and until such time as we get a satisfactory report. And because we're dealing with mandatory different conditions with STLs that are statutory, to put in a condition that we effectively duplicate the condition, because that condition exists already, to have an appropriate water supply. So sorry, no, that would not be competent.
Thank you for that, Stuart. So I have a seconder. Are there any amendments? I see none. Can I therefore ask for your agreement that we defer this to the next meeting? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
And item F, Glasslick Cottage, Glen Clover, DD8 4QU, and I believe we have Mr. David Fairley here. Would you like to come and take a seat, please? Would you like to speak to the application?
Yeah, is this on? Correct, yeah. Yeah, well, it's with regards to the electrical works with the EICR at Glasslick, which I had an EICR carried out, and then the RCD part of it had failed. So then speaking to Brogan, I said, what do I need to do to get this passed, and she was just proof of the works that's been carried out. So then I got the electrician up to fix it and to replace it. Sent the invoice, which I paid him, sent that to Brogan, asking her, is that enough? And at that point it was. And then obviously I got an email about this meeting, so I got back in touch with Brogan. And then she had said to me that there was no EICR necessary, but a works completion certificate would suffice. So then I immediately phoned the electrician who carries out, well, it's my electrical work, which then he sort of did say to me there's no such thing as a sort of works completion certificate, but he'd be happy to have a headed letter and sign it to say that he has carried out that work. But I now believe that another EICR is necessary, which of course is not a problem. I'm delighted to do that. Yeah.
Do members have any questions at this point? No, I do. How soon do you think you can get another EICR?
I'm quite friendly with my electrician, and he does a bit for me. So hopefully I could push him a little to get it sorted out. So I mean, it's sort of $1 million question. I could get in touch with him as soon as I leave here and see if he could really help me out within the next, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks. I appreciate that he will be busy doing other things. However, that doesn't mean to say that I couldn't instruct another electrician to come out and do the work. However, I think it's probably best to get the EICR done by the electrician who has carried out all the works in the house.
Okay, thank you so much. Are there any comments that members want to make at this juncture? No? Okay, thank you. Turning to the recommendations, again, as in the previous items, because we don't have the information that we require under the statutory conditions, I would propose that we defer this item to the next meeting. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Fotheringham, thank you very much. Are there any amendments to that motion? No, I see none. Can I therefore ask that we defer? Are we agreed? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much, members. That is the end of this Special Civic Licensing Committee. Thank you for your attendance, and I shall see you at the next one. Thank you.
Could you stop the live stream, please?